What's going on, folks? It is Ian from the Apostles of Anime here to talk to you about a show that is not an anime, and that show is Invincible by Robert Kirkman. It is on Amazon Prime. I felt like I had to talk about the show because I was recommended this show ad nauseum. A lot of our fans were like, Ian, you gotta watch this show. And I was a little skeptical at first because, I get a lot of freaking recommendations, right? So I was not jumping at the opportunity to take on another show out of the litany of shows that I was already watching, but begrudgingly, I was like, maybe I'll check it out. And then my mind again was like, nah, you don't want to watch this. And I tell you what, to make sure we don't watch this, just spoil it for yourself. So I went on Google and looked up spoilers for the show. Some of you are probably ready to flip a table right now, but listen before you do. It actually was a fantastic thing that I did that, right? Because when I spoiled it for myself, I realized that I actually really liked what this show was providing, or at least this story. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's watch it. And I'm super glad that I have started. And to be fair, I haven't spoiled literally everything. I was definitely thrown for a loop a lot in just this first season alone. So I don't know every single minute detail. And even the things I do know, I'm still really curious to see how we get to those spots, right? Getting the puzzle pieces put together is something that's very satisfying. But the story covers a character by the name of Mark Grayson as our main protagonist. Mark is a human slash Viltrumite. His father is what would be the equivalent to Superman. They call him Omni-Man. And he is from Viltrum, which is basically these beings that are like Superman. They're like Kryptonians, essentially, right? Thing is, Mark does not have his powers, and he's kind of salty about it, and he's supposed to get them, right? He's supposed to have had them, honestly, at this point, but he does not. He winds up getting them eventually, and now we're going to have to go through Mark's life, going through high school, because that's where he is currently, navigating relationships, family, him wanting now to be a hero, and how to master the newfound powers that he's gotten, considering they make him almost, wait for it, invincible, right? So, but the irony in this show is that although his name is Invincible, he is really anything but invincible, because while he might be physically stronger than most opponents, he's very vulnerable in a lot of spots. But I actually think there's this weird conundrum and paradoxical effect that actually fits, because I think the name Invincible is not necessarily implied in the sense that he never loses a fight, because he certainly does quite frequently, actually. It's more along the lines that no matter what is being thrown at him, he's going to be able to emerge victorious, which basically makes him invincible in another sense. At least that's the way I perceive it. So I thought it was something really cool to see. And essentially, this just kind of takes the whole superhero story with the more realistic spin on it. So this is going to be highlighting, moments of gore, of murder, of, these interpersonal relationships that people have, and the fact that there is government and there is bureaucracy behind this whole superhero veil. It's not so much that these folks just go out and have fun slinging webs or flying around and saving people at their convenience, and then when they feel like it, they're going to hang up the cape, put on the trench coat, and go do taxes and be someone's attorney, right? From 9 to 5. This is your job. And when we need you, we call you. It's an on-call thing, and you better damn well be there. And by the way, you probably shouldn't tell anyone who you actually are, right? So you can see how this provides kind of a conundrum in people's lives, especially a young kid going through high school, right? And being that his father is essentially the most popular superhero out there and the strongest being on Earth, it definitely provides that sort of confusion, because he needs a father figure in his life, and his father is willing to teach him some of the things when it comes to these ropes, but his mother now is on the human side of things because she's a human, so she has to ground him and bring him back to Earth and always remind him where his real home has always been and always will be. So I actually really liked this story as it went through. I thought that what it did, it's not that it has never been done before, but I thought that they really executed on it well, and I was genuinely curious to see Mark's finagling and squirming and struggling when it came to these awkward situations, and when he was faced with some what seemed to be insurmountable challenges, even with his powers. Again, he's not undefeated. He's very beatable, especially in these newbie stages. So it was very interesting to see what being a hero is really cracked up to be. And I felt that although this show definitely, went into the elements of gore and all of these crazy, really visceral things, I felt like it was never something that was there just for the sake of it. It always felt that it was warranted, that it was needed, and that it served the story and its purposes. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the show. I'm really glad that I watched it, and I felt that I had to put this video out in order to inform people that were maybe on the fence about it. If you have seen it already, let me know down below what you liked about it without trying to spoil it for anyone. If you didn't, are you more inclined to see it now, etc.? I'm curious to know. But as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.